So far in all our lectures, we had the dataset as well as the formula on one single sheet. In this example, we have our dataset on sheet number one, and we need the results on sheet number two. To do this, there are a couple of different approaches, and I'll showcase all of them to you. So if you write equal to VLOOKUP, we notice that our VLOOKUP value is already on the current sheet, which is C4. We put a comma. Now the table array is not on this sheet. So without exiting the formula, I will take my mouse and click on sheet number one. We will select column B, C, and D. And now comes the important part. You have to press a comma and then go back to sheet number two. And you notice that C4 was already our lookup value. Sheet 1 B colon D has now become the table array from the first sheet. Now the column index number is just a number, right? So we don't need to write the sheet number. We can simply write number 3 and then we write false. Oh, we have to remove this name. So as you can see, it works perfectly. The difference is that rather than writing simply the column reference, which is B colon D, we also have to write the sheet name. Now, if you really think about it, sometimes I feel that rather than going through all this hassle of selecting multiple sheets, it is much easier to simply write VLOOKUP. For now, I'm simply going to write B colon D, number 3, and then false. Now, obviously, this will result in an error because remember, B colon D has to be on the other sheet. But we can simply type sheet 1 with an exclamation mark. And you notice this works as well. Now, why am I encouraging you all to write the sheet name manually? The simple reason is because even though this requires a little more effort on your part, if you look at the big picture, this is a much simpler approach rather than having to manipulate and navigate between multiple sheets at the same time. Especially when you have a very large workbook, which might have, let's say, 25 odd sheets in it. Navigating between all those sheets can get very cumbersome, and writing the sheet name is much simpler to do. Do remember that if your original sheet had a space in it, for example, if the name was sheet space 1, then my formula would have become sheet space 1. But this time we also have to enclose this inside a single apostrophe. If you notice, if I don't keep the apostrophe, it doesn't work. It tries to go to a different document altogether. So just remember, whenever your sheet name has a space in it, you have to enclose it inside a single apostrophe before you put the exclamation mark. My advice is that you should always put the exclamation mark. As an example, imagine that there was no space in sheet 1. Even so, we could have written sheet 1 with an apostrophe and the result would come. Now, this is a much better approach because this way you don't have to remember when to put the apostrophe, when not to put it. You can put the apostrophe every time. In case there is no space in the sheet name, then the apostrophe will automatically go away. But you at least don't have to keep in mind when and when not to put it. So this is one way of writing VLOOKUP when you're working with multiple sheets. The other way is to write equal to VLOOKUP. You open the parentheses and then you click on this fx insert function button. What that does is it opens up the function argument box for you, and this would make it much simpler because now when you are working between multiple sheets, you can simply select all of the arguments one by one without having to bother with the comma and the syntax, because the function argument will take care of it automatically. For example, I know that my lookup value is C4. My table array is on sheet number 1, which is B, C, and D. The column number is, we know it is 3, and the range lookup is false. The best part is that it automatically constructs the formula for you, keeping in mind the sheet name, the commas, it automatically enters the last closing parentheses, as well as showing you the result. So if you look here, You can even see the result even before you complete the formula. So when I press OK, you notice we get the result. The third approach would be to simply give a name. So if I select column B, C, and D, and we give a name like we had done earlier, if I call this VL underscore data, we can now go back to sheet number 2 and write equal to VLOOKUP C4. Now look how smartly we have given a name. This means that we don't have to jump over back to the other sheet to select that name. We can simply write VL data, and then without me having to move away from the formula and my current sheet, Excel will do the hard work for us. Excel will go and identify what is the data set and where is it, and it will automatically find it for us. And we can simply complete our formula like this. I'm sure all of you would agree that this third approach is one of the easiest ones. It just requires that extra few seconds of effort for you, where before you write the formula, you have to give a name. But as you can see, that extra 15 seconds or so that you have to spend is definitely worth it. There is a fourth way of doing this. Now, this one is a little different than all the other approaches, but I will still showcase it to you. Um, for this, remember, you need to have the latest Windows 10 OS. So if you're working on Windows 7 or Windows 8, it might not work the same way. If you look at my file name, it says VLOOKUP based on multiple sheets. Remember, that's my file name. Now, look carefully. When I click on View and I select, so I'm clicking on View and I'm selecting this option called New Window. So what it does is it opens a duplicate window of my current workbook. If you notice, a new workbook has been created called VLOOKUP based on multiple sheets number 2. Now, why is that so helpful? Because now I can see both the instances of the same workbook at the same time. To do this, you will have to press, I'll just write the shortcut here. You will have to press Windows and the left arrow, okay, at the same time. So you press the Windows button on your keyboard along with the left arrow, and you notice that on the left side I can see one of the instances of my Excel workbook, and then on the right side I can just click on the other instance, and this way I can view the same Excel workbook 2 different times. Now, why would you want to do that? Because on the left side I can keep sheet number 1, and on the right side I can keep sheet number 2. And this would make things much simpler than any other approach. If you notice, I can simply write VLOOKUP, the lookup value is C4, and without having to do anything, I can simply come back and select my table array. Excellent, right? Now this means that you're able to retain your formula. So the formula is always visible to you, but you're also able to see the other sheet and select the data from the other sheet. So I complete my formula. Once I'm happy with the result, you can simply close the first instance and then maximize this, and you get the final result. Now, it might seem that it requires a lot of effort and it is a little time consuming, but believe you me, it is not. It's very, very simple. And I'm sure that if you guys practice it 4 or 5 times, it will just become second nature to you. And you will see the advantage of being able to open multiple instances of the same workbook at the same time. Do remember the Windows left arrow shortcut only works on Windows 10. It might even work with some builds of Windows 8 as well. But in case it doesn't work, not to worry. Just make sure that you have a copy of Windows 10, and in that it will work perfectly. So a quick recap, I showed you that you can write a VLOOKUP by selecting values from the other sheet. You can also give a range name, and you can also create a new window altogether.